Well, hello everyone, it's Kari. Thank you so much for stopping back by the channel. Today we're going to create a fun card using this die set called the Postage, Seal, and Shaker Collection. I'm also going to bring in the Postmark stamp set and the Highland Cows stamp set, as well as the coordinating dies. And I just love this set because they are really cute and fun to color. So I thought we would pull all of these together and create a fun card. I'm going to use this frame right here with that postage edge. So I cut it out of a panel, and now I have all of these pieces. I am going to use that centerpiece to ink blend a kind of a sunset scene. So I've got some Distress Oxides here, and I'm starting with the dried marigold color. Then I'll bring in a little darker color. This is the ripe persimmon. And I'll just ink blend that on as well. And I usually go back and forth between the colors to get a nice blend of those colors. I'm adding a little bit of a lighter shade of the dried marigold here so that I can get it to blend really well with my pink colors. So I've got Kitsch Flamingo and then Spun Sugar. This is Spun Sugar right here that I'm starting with. It's a really nice light pink, and that's the one I want to blend into the light dried marigold. And then I'll bring in some of that Kitsch Flamingo towards the top, making it just a little bit darker. And then to get those blends a little bit smoother, I'm going back through with some of those ink colors and blending them out just a touch. And that's going to really make a nice smooth transition for this sunset panel. Now you can see that it's going to fit perfectly inside that frame. And I'm going to also use some of these wax seals, or this is the faux wax seal from that same die set. And I'm going to cut out a wax seal using some bronze paper. I picked the bronze because I think it's really going to go nicely with our Highland Cows. It's going to kind of match and bring in a little bit of shine. So I'll cut out a number of those pieces and build them up. And we can use that as a part of our card today for the design. It cuts out this cute little ginkgo biloba leaf. I think that's what it is. And I think that's really cute like that. So I'm going to go ahead and do some coloring now. And this is really simple coloring, but it also packs a really nice punch. So I'm starting out by coloring their little noses here with a really light pink. And now I'm going to go in and color their horns with a really light shade of brown. That's going to make it stand out from their hair. I'm going to call it hair for lack of a maybe fur. But I'm going to start with some E50 colors. These are some of my favorite shades to color animals, and I think that it really works for these Highland Cows. So I'm just using a flicking motion to add some hair-like strands or make it look kind of like that, and go through all the colors by blending them a little further out. This is really fun to do, really simple. It takes a little bit of practice, but if you just use a short little flicking motion and then go through multiple colors, getting lighter and lighter as you go, it really looks amazing, I think, when it's done. I love this look. So I'm using 4 shades of brown. You can see I have them here on the screen. I'm going through them all one more time because it really creates the drama there with those shades. And now I'll go through and color the rest of his body in the same manner, just doing it the opposite direction. So I will leave in the coloring for one of these Highland Cows so you can see the process and just how simple it is. And I hope you'll give this a try with any of your coloring mediums. You can use any alcohol markers that you have. I have not tried this with watercolor yet, or even my watercolor pens, but I do love it with an alcohol marker. So these are my Copic markers. And you can see I'm going from the top down and then from the bottom of the feet up, and they're going to meet in the middle there. Again, just going through all the colors. So you can see this is really fun to color. I love coloring these cows. They're really cute. So I'll continue to finish coloring that up, and then I'm going to move on to putting this card together. I color all the rest of the Highland Cows off screen, but you'll see them at the end, and I wasn't sure if I was going to use all of them in this card design. I thought I might just use one or two, but it turned out that they looked all so cute together that I used all three. So I'm glad I stamped them out. There you go, getting to the end. And then I'll color his hooves with some neutral gray markers as well. And then I'll cut them out using the coordinating dies. So you can see here they all are colored up. I colored the older Highland cows a little bit darker and the baby Highland cow a little lighter. So you can see I've got a couple of them on my panel that we created the sunset on, and I'm just going to stamp a light postmark on there using some gray oxide ink. And I stamp it a couple of times just so you can see it, but it's still a little bit faint. So I really like that. Now I'm going to stamp the cancellation marks down using that same gray color. I believe this is iced spruce, or it could be weathered wood as well. Either way, it creates a really nice faint background postmark there. And now we're going to try to arrange all of those cows, but look how cute those two are together. I mean, you could do a variety of arrangements here. Now the background needed a little something, so I'm going to take this Kaleidescope stencil, which is a really fun stencil, and I'm going to ink on just a few spots of some of the ripe persimmon distress oxide. I'll clean that off, and then I'm going to use some of the pink as well. This is going to give it a really interesting background, but we're not going to be finished yet because I'm going to add also VersaMark sticky ink through the stencil, and then I'm going to add some of this embossing glaze. This is distress embossing glaze, and it adds just a faint, oh, look what I did. It adds just a faint gloss to the background with a little bit of color to it. So it's going to stand out. It will shine in the light just a little bit, but it's going to be really faint. And I love that look. I love adding a little bit extra shine without being too obvious. So I've got a couple of different colors here, a pink and an orange. I'm just going to shake that on to where we added that ink, the sticky ink. And I won't put that back into the jars because now I've got both pink and orange there. And I don't want to mix them necessarily in my jars. So I will just clean that up a little bit and then heat set that with my heat gun. And that's going to create that little design in the background. They almost look like butterflies flying in the background, but it's just like a little interesting design just to give it some more texture. So can you see that? Can you see how it kind of glistens in the light? But it's similar to the background colors itself. So it's not too much, just a little bit of interest there. Now I'm going to play around with the placement of everything as I haven't put together my little wax seal yet, but I'll put that together, and I think it needs to be on this side to kind of even out the postmark with the wax seal. And here's where I'm deciding if I want 2 of the cows or all 3. And then I also colored some of those bluebirds up, or I colored some of the birds up blue, so they are bluebirds. And now for the edging, I'm going to add some of that distress oxide in the pumice stone. This is going to just make it stand out from that background card panel. I wanted you to be able to see that edging. So see what that gray does. It really makes it pop from the background. And now we'll glue in the center, just like this. And then we can arrange all of our die cut pieces on the top. I did stamp a sentiment, and I'm creating a little banner. This says "Party till the cows come home." I love that. sentiment that's also from the Highland Cows stamp set, and I thought it was perfect for this one. So this can be used as a birthday card. It can be used as a congratulations card. So I'm going to wait to stamp my sentiment on the inside to decide what I'm using this one for. And I'll put together that wax seal just using some liquid adhesive. I'm being very careful not to get too much though, because that can really show through on that metallic cardstock. And once I have my placement figured out, I can start adding everything to my card here. I'm going to glue most everything down with liquid adhesive, but that little baby Highland Cow I will pop up with some foam tape. That will give this card a little more dimension. It's so fun to add that. And then these little birds. So there is our card, but I feel like I'm missing something. And I realized that I missed one of the birds. So see it up top there? So I'm going to go ahead and add it right now. Right there next to that other one. They're kind of talking to each other, those two little birds. And that's going to finish off our card for today. Look how cute these are. Such a fun little card. Can you see that distress embossing glaze in the background? I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, and I really appreciate you stopping by today. I enjoyed making this. I hope you enjoyed it too. I'll be back soon with more cards to share, more fun, more inspiration. So we'll see you then. Thanks for stopping by. Bye-bye.